And then we're going to have a new recording.
Hello, this is the question and answer series for our presentation of Art and Activism with Avotcja, interviewed by Vilma V. And let's start with the questions.
Yeah, folks can either put in the chat or put your hand up, and Manoush can probably unmute you. However, should they put it in the chat or write or just say it out loud? What do you think?
Also you can turn on your video if you want. It's always fun to see who's in the audience and raise your hand.
Yeah, and I know there's folks here in Puerto Rico, so if you guys want to say something or ask a question, please. We love the international, national feeling of this Zoom, so please feel free to dialogue with us.
Yeah, why don't you start? Let's start with Puerto Rico. You want to say hi?
What you got to say?
Just unmute yourselves. Yeah.
You have to unmute. Okay, eso.
They always force me to do things. But anyway, it's an honor to be here sharing with Avotcja. I have sent many libras of café from Puerto Rico, and at the same time on the other from the other side we get a lot of presents from and goods that are needed for Puerto Ricans. As I always say, because after Maria, we are still there. It's still happening. So it's what?
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm a local from San Francisco, but I've just been so blessed to make it to Puerto Rico a couple months a year. And I just want to say, I've seen him put his heart in his wheels into going up into those mountains, finding the people that need help. And just such a beautiful thing, really, because
it's a blessing, because you get these reactions from people that really need this stuff.
It's like a team effort with the diaspora here in New York and in California, and yeah, it's a team effort. It's beautiful.
It's very special, certainly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Avotcja, and thank you for your talent. I completely feel so identified with everything that you have said. I'm an artist too. I love the word, la palabra. I write a lot, but I feel uncomfortable because I think it's such a serious language, and to dominate that language, it takes a lot of courage and a lot of discipline. And so I just want to say that I appreciate your excellence, your talent, and I wish we have you for long years to come. I want to visit back your station and have a short chat as we should usually do. And more than anything, I wish to meet you in Puerto Rico. There are ways. We are not so underdeveloped. We are more underdeveloped than ever, but we are welcoming you anytime, and you can stay at my finca, the top of a mountain.
When you can figure out how to get my wheelchair and me up to La Finca,
already figured out already.
They'll make it happen.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any other people who'd like to ask a question? We have a few more minutes before the end of the hour.
Mary's hand is up.
I wondered, Avotcja, if you could talk a little bit about your radio programs and what you do, because that's where I've heard you reach out to highlight all kinds of young artists and old artists and artists from afar and near, and you're just amazing about featuring people that I would never hear about otherwise. Could you talk about it a little bit?
I'm a music nut. I've been collecting ever since I was a kid. When I came out from New York, I had a collection that was probably bigger than most record stores have. and I like all kinds of music. And so that's what my program is about, the kind of music I like. And I'm a musician, and I depend on other people supporting my music and poetry, and I do the same thing. And Bill the same with, I mean, that's what we do. So it's not just me. I mean, I'm doing something I love, and I'm having fun doing it. And Bilma does the same, you know. So those of us who are lucky enough to do the radio thing, I'm grateful. When I came out here, one of the things that blew my mind, one of the good things about New York is that you can grow up and you can be listening to Musica Latina and James Brown. That's considered natural. Out here, I came out here and it was either one or the other, you know, and it drove me nuts. It drove me nuts. So when I started doing my programs, my first program was called Africa Vive en el Caribe, or Africa's Alive in the Caribbean, and deliberately was to put on all these different kinds of music on the same program. So people would listen to not only the music, but to our relations to each other. And, you know, it's just, we're just different states in a world country. So anyway, that's enough on that. Who else wants to ask a question?
When is your KPOO program?
KPOO every Friday, noon to 3. That's Pacific Standard Time, California time. And then on Tuesdays from 8 to 10 at Berkeley, it's KPFA. So anyway, so, and they're both on the Zoom. So, I mean, on the web. So they're both available all around the world. So.
And Avotcja, someone was asking about the connection you have between music and poetry. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, people always ask me that. For me, poetry is music and music is poetry. That's what our poetry series is called La Palabra Musical. There's music in every language, every language. In fact, a good example is when I was younger, I used to think that German was the most horrible language I'd ever heard in my life, until this one young kid, he was a fanatic of Brecht, and he was absolutely beautiful. He read Brecht and it sounded like a Romance language because he was beautiful. So that thing, there's beauty in every language if the person is beautiful, you know. And so our poetry series, La Palabra Musical, we've had over 20 different languages. And so we always say, whatever language you cry in or dream in, bring it, because it's time for us to cut the crap and start listening to each other.
That's right. All right. Do we have anyone else with burning questions for Avotcja? This is one of the few times that you get to dialogue with an artist here, and she's open. So please don't hold back. Otherwise, I have lots of still questions, even though we only have a few minutes left. Avotcja, do you ever get tired or feel like I've had enough? I've been on this planet for so many decades and I see the same problems, the same, you know, hubris and corruption and ego. And how do you keep getting up every morning and creating when you see sometimes these forces that can seem so overwhelming? How do you keep doing this?
Doing it is what keeps me alive. You know, that's what I mean, this craziness. I say I'm 82 going on 820. I thought by this time all this craziness would be over. And then you see them blow off another person's head or kill some young girl at a BART station for no reason. Porqueria everywhere, stupid crap, you know. And so, but it just gives me a reason to use it for fertilizer, maybe write another piece of music or a poem about it. And that keeps me strong. I know I have no intention of going anywhere until the time to go somewhere. And I plan on doing what I do until they put the dirt over me. So.
What are some of the plans? I know Afro Solo, let people know here in the last few minutes where they can catch you and what you got going on over the summer.
I have a website, and because of the pandemic, and plus the fact that I say I'm older, 2 years older than dirt, I don't work as much as I used to, but I still am occasionally at different places. If you go to my website, avotcja.org, and maybe somebody can put that in the what do you call it?
I put it in the chat.
Thank you. And then my book is available. Please get my book and support other artists. As I say, it's not all about me. You got this area that we're in, so many fantastic artists, and they can all use some help and, you know, and support. But if you want to see me, go to my website, and I try to keep it up to date, avotcja.org. And sometimes I'm not as efficient as I should be, but I try. And I guess that's it. You know, come to Afro Solo the next week because I definitely am very proud of this piece, and I'm grateful that whatever is letting me do it now, because I really had a hard time with this one. I mean, every time I've read it to a couple of friends where I read so far, and I just fall out crying every time. It's a heavy duty issue, but it's something that needs to be said, because I really believe they got pictures of everybody and their mama and daddy on the walls from the so-called civil rights era, and then not one picture of her. I've never seen a picture of her anywhere. And she should be on everybody's wall. Absolutely brilliant, brave human being. And what can I say?
That's the mother of Emmett Till you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Suzanne has her hand up. Be brief because we're trying to wrap this up, but go ahead, Suzanne.
Roberto.
Yes, very simple question. Although I know you for quite a while, I don't know where really you were born. Were you born in Puerto Rico and then you immigrated to New York?
My heart was born in Puerto Rico in Africa, and I was born in New York.
Okay, well, but you are Puerto Rican anyway.
I was born in
And
New Yorkers, we're New Yorkers.
yes. I am. I'm not born in New York, but whenever I'm there, I'm New Yorker.
That's right.
What do you say, Boricua en la luna.
That's right. Exactly. That's what
Hasta la luna, yes.
Yes.
All right, we are coming up at the end of the hour. Mary, do we?
Okay.
Manoush, yeah, go
I have a
ahead.
question for you, Avotcja. So, how do you suggest for artists to keep going when they get older? What's your, recommendation or secret that we can keep going and making art when we get older?
Somebody asked me that same question earlier. I haven't the slightest idea. I just do it because I've got to do it. I have to do it. And if you are really an artist and you're serious about what you're doing and you have to do it, you're going to do it. It hasn't got anything to do with age. And contrary to popular belief, it doesn't get worse because you get older. My stuff is better now than it ever was before. And I'm very grateful for that. The muse has been kind to me. And the more you work at something, the better it gets. I may be slower and I'm in a wheelchair, but my creativity is still happening. So I'm grateful for that.
How about when you don't have an audience?
I don't write for the audience. If they come, that's a good thing.
Okay.
I mean, I was told very early to beware of being dependent on having the audience. If you get good enough, you'll have an audience. It may not be the audience that you want. It may not always be a whole house full of things, but you don't do it for the audience. Spirit talks to me, the creator, whatever you want to say, the muse talks to me. I do that because I do it. I have to do it. It gave me a gift. My gift is back to them when I do it, if that makes any sense. But the audience is nice that they come. And if they don't, I'm still doing it.
We're blessed that it's come to you, Avotcja, for sure. I've been very much an honor to be in dialogue with you and to be given this opportunity. So thank you so much. I love you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you all. Hey,
Yeah, thank you.
I see you up there raising.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
To the Born to Drum Camp. Okay, that's good.
I'm frozen, so I can't speak.
No, we can hear you. You've spoken.
Oh, you are? Okay,
Yeah.
my friend. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And thank you you'll be able to see this presentation online if you want to direct other people to it. And thank you, Avotcja. Thank you, Vilma.
Thank you. I hope it
All keep going on. And I've seen Avotcja work with a lot of young people. And I think that's part of your secret. You just are always working with young people.
I'm working with young people, with old people. I'm not prejudiced. I like people. If they're good people, that's the deal. Are they good people? Good people. It has nothing to do with whatever their theology is, because I think that the creator, or whatever you want to call that force, is too big for any one theology or one ism. And if they're good people, let's work. Let's do it. Go together.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all.